Welcome back. This is an amendment to video number 14 in the iTrain 5.1 supplement series. After re-watching the video, we realised that the underlying purpose of using turnout feedbacks to update the train position was not fully explained. So here is the explanation. In video number 14, much was made of a new feature where the first turnout with feedback in a turnout structure is used to update the position of the train that activates it. The benefit was described as improving the accuracy of the calculated position of a train as it crosses a turnout structure. But what wasn't explained was why that improved accuracy is beneficial. What problem does it solve? Well, it is to prevent instances of train did not arrive in time error messages that can occur in certain situations. Based on the length of the current block and the length of any turnouts between the current block and whichever the next block is to be, iTrain makes an estimate of the expected time of arrival in that next block. Trains that will arrive too late will be stopped as a safety precaution, and the train did not arrive in time error message is generated. We can replicate that in offline mode. You need to use a train that has already been routed to a block so that iTrain knows its position. Then route the train to another block, but then do not progress the route, so leave the train where it is. iTrain will have made an estimate of when it believes that train should arrive in that next block. And if it doesn't arrive in time, as we will see down here in a second, the train did not arrive in time error message has been generated and the train was stopped. We can remove the error message by double clicking on it in the throttle area here. The accuracy of the estimated time of arrival is dependent on the accuracy of the distance travelled, or put another way, the accuracy of the change in position of the train. As explained in video 14, the greater the distance between feedbacks, or the longer the feedback is preceding an unmonitored section, such as a yard ladder, the greater the calculated position error becomes, and the greater the effect it has on the time iTrain thinks the train will arrive. To the extent that iTrain can incorrectly determine that something has happened to the train because it thinks it will not arrive on time, and so stops the train as a precaution. The rate of error is linear, so that means a 10mm error at 500 millimeters will be a 20mm error at 1 metre. Or the train being 5 seconds late at 500mm will be 10 seconds at 1 metre. So in iTrain 5.1, the first feedback encountered in a turnout structure is used to update the true train position and reset the calculated position error, thus improving the accuracy of the train position as it crosses the turnout structure, resulting in a more secure estimate of the arrival time and therefore reducing the probability of an erroneous train did not arrive in time error message in scenarios where there is a long feedback or a long turnout structure. That was not possible in iTrain 5.0 because turnout feedbacks could not be used to update the train position. So you might ask, how do we define long? Well, there is no definitive answer to that. It varies based on the gauge or scale being used, the accuracy of the speed profile, the accuracy of the feedback length that we've entered into iTrain, etc., etc. But if you are suffering from train did not arrive in time messages and have a similar track scenario to that described, then installing a turnout feedback may help. Now, detecting non-arrival of a train is optional. To check if it is active or not, go to Edit, Settings, and to Options, and there we have Detect non-arrival of a train. If it is unticked, iTrain will not stop a train if it is arriving late and will not generate the error message. It is often more convenient to have it turned off, for example, when messing around in offline mode. So I hope that has provided a more complete explanation of the benefit of the new feature and why it was introduced. So until the next episode, bye for now.